Hey guys, just kind of updating my bench mount video now that I've kind of come out with this new design. Today we're going to be setting it up on one of the Hornady Lock-N-Load presses. So of course I had the obligatory red bucket ready to go. So let's jump right into it. If you've seen any of my other videos, this might be a little bit of a repeat, but if not, we're all here to learn. So today we're just going to go over the scenario. Somebody ordered a bench mount kit. They ordered the small rifle and they ordered the small pistol. With this kit, you'll receive your bench mount options and your mount pull. You'll receive your mechanical shutoff switch that rides on your purchased separately, either Lee or double alpha inline bullet feed die. Then you will receive your corresponding nose guide plates. So P for pistol, R for rifle. If you order just pistol plates, you'll only receive one pistol. But obviously, if you order a pistol and a rifle, you'll receive both a pistol and a rifle. This is your nose guide knob and spring. I'll show you how to set that up. And then this is a new little ramp that I don't think's in any of my other videos that it will be used for pistol. And I'll kind of show you how to set this up as well. It just kind of helps kind of kick the bullets out from kind of piling up here up top if you have to lay your feeder out flat, which you can see all the adjustment videos elsewhere on my page that goes over setting up all of the pistol calibers. And then I just have small rifle up, but you will set all the rifles up the exact same way, regardless of caliber, whether you're going to be doing the 6mm, 7mm, 6.5, 30 cal, or small rifle here. So let's jump right into it and get right into assembly. So let me step behind here so you guys can kind of see, and I'm going to try to keep this as clear as I can. So this is everything you'll receive in your box. You'll unpack it, and it'll kind of look something like this. So let's start by setting up the mount pull. I'm just going to kind of pile everything over here. Let's set this stuff here. Get all this stuff out of the way. So when you receive your mount pull, I actually have it chopped in two sections. This is just 3/4 conduit. So if you ever want to make a custom mount, you can just go down to your Home Depot, get 3/4 conduit, and your bucket will sit right on that conduit. But this is just something I ship for guys. You get the option of it for either all mounting options when you order a bullet feeder, completely indifferent of the price. So let's start. So this is a coupler. I have it chopped in two pieces because it's a little bit cheaper on guys to ship. I don't have to use such a big a box and saves everybody money. So this is a slight press fit. And yeah, so I guess I just got there right there with my strength. But sometimes you do have to use a hammer for these guys. But so that's what it'll do. It just takes those two pieces of conduit and puts them together. And then these all have lock nut set screws in there. And these are all just thumb knobs. So you just tighten these to kind of just snug so it's not slopping around. You don't have to get them crazy tight, just tight enough. So let me grab something to run in my T-track here. Some more clamps to run in this T-track so I can set that mount up. I don't know if any of you guys have these T-tracks, but I sure do love them. I put on about anything I can get my hands on my bench. Because you don't have to drill anything, and you can change your bench if you don't like it, and then you don't have millions of screws and screw holes and everything in your bench from past mounting. And you can get these things pretty tight. They crank down real hard. These little clamps do. Okay, so that's just where we're going to put that. That might be close enough. We might have to bring it over here, but we'll see. Actually, that does look pretty far. Let's go up front. And you can always, like, I just have all my stuff mounted on these, like, it's really thick plywood siding. You can always screw it just right into the back. And wherever you can kind of get this bench mount to go, it'll go. And, like, this isn't just for the Hornady presses. You can use this bench mount for Lee's, all those bigger Dillon presses. This bench mount really is a kind of a universal fit. Like, we can probably just get it here with one singular... Oh my gosh, what am I doing? I should go on the other side. This is why you game plan things out. So let's just go over here. Yeah, this is a much better place to put it. So let's grab that pole. Slide that in. So just these are just to tighten enough. You don't have to go super crazy with these. You can over tighten them, right? So just enough where that pipe stop slopping around. So actually what we can do here is kind of double work this so we can get both these clamps in here and clamp in this pole. Probably a little bit better of an idea. That's why these T-tracks are just so great. Everything's just so modular. It's wherever you want to put it. There you go. Okay, and then you just set your bullet feeder right up on this pole, like so, and just kind of like prior, just tight enough, just so that bullet feeder is not moving and doing all types of crazy stuff. So now we can go ahead and screw on our spring. You'll receive a 20-inch spring with this kit. So the spring already has pre-screwed on couplers, and that coupler just screws onto your bullet feeder. Just like that. Just like so. And that might be a little bit long. I usually send this pretty long, so if guys want to trim it later on, they can. Better is, you know, always kind of the option there. Like you can see this is just a little bit long, so I actually might end up scooting this back a little bit instead of just trimming this spring. But if you have a permanent spot you're going to put it, you can always just trim your spring. So if you can see, I have a Lee inline bullet feeder. Just follow Lee's or Double Alpha's, whichever brand you buy, recommendation for setting up your bullet feeder. And then I will send you for each caliber conversion kit you order a spacer. The white spacers fit the Lee's, and the black spacer fits the Double Alphas. This is just to step up, this that diameter of that kind of nub to the diameter of the switch body, to give guys kind of a choice so they could always choose whichever they wanted. So let's go ahead right into it. So then these are also color-coded switch inserts, right? So these are what you'll use for all your different calibers. They're all color-coded. They match the plate, so you can never mistake them. And they're keyed, so they only go one way because this switch slot rides over the mechanical switch inside of this housing. Just like so, right? And so you'll obviously tighten your switch clamps up a little bit once you get everything set. So today, I guess we're going to start off with 22, so we should just go ahead and put that in. Actually, we should not, and this is another valuable lesson. So these springs act just like screws. You have to think of them like a screw. So if you screw this coupler onto the insert, it actually unscrews it from the spring. So always screw your insert onto the coupler, just like that. Okay, let me go grab a wrench here so I can tighten this up, and we can get everything set up and locked up here and ready to go. Okay, so I usually send these pretty tight because every now and again, if I get them too loose, these nuts will fall off in shipping. So go ahead and slide your insert on. And these are a slight press fit on top into these insert or on these for these inline feed dies. So you might have to get something like a little rubber hammer or something and just tap them on. They're made not to come off that way, so when you're taking your switch off, it doesn't pull that off. So you can just leave them on there forever and there's no adjustment. So let's do it this way. Yeah, let's do it this way. Okay. So it's coming from the back side here, and these kind of rotate around, so it's okay. And you snug that up. And you snug this up. There we go. Just like that. And then we're going to take our sensor wires from the bullet feeder. And so these are, if you'll see, like the wires are red and black, but it really doesn't matter. You just hook them onto this very, very front post and this very, very back post for your sensor, for your mechanical shutoff switch. So that'll probably do it. It'll probably be okay. You might have to trim this a little bit, and you, like I said, do less to start, and then you can always go from there, because if you do trim too much, you can just get a hold of me and I'll ship you out another spring at cost. So the way these caliber kits work is they all have this hex. There's a hex hub up on here that you just set that plate down on. Let me see if I can get you guys up there so you can kind of watch this scenario. I don't know if I can quite reach up, but here, I'll just lay this down flat for everybody. See if that looks good. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay. And so these hinges, they have a 45-degree line, and you just match your angle of this bucket with that 45-degree line. And that's where you're going to feed 95% of the bullets. All rifle bullets feed there. A lot of the pistol bullets feed there. The tilt is just for when you kind of get into some odds and end bullets, such as flat points and stuff like that, which are all covered in my tuning videos if you want to go look up. So you just set this hub down in there, and you can kind of feel when it's about ready to lock on. There you go, and it just locks on. It just sets on there. And then so if you ever want to change your caliber, you just pull that off and place it back on. So for your nose guide, you have your nose guide screw, and you have a spring. So since we're doing rifle, we're going to be using our plate that's denoted R. So you just slide that into the dovetails, get it kind of going there. There we go. Get that pulled back out a little bit. And then you're going to place your nose guide knob through that hole, and you want that spring to ride in between your plate, or your nose guide plate, and your body. And with that screw going right in between it, so you can adjust this, and it's spring loaded. You can adjust it in and out, and you don't have to sit here and push it in and out. So kind of just there's probably about right. We'll always tune it later. You just want it just so that tip of that bullet falls down and catches there. So let's go ahead and move that back up to 45 degrees with our hand knob back here. All toolless adjustment. And we should be good to go once we get power. Let's hook it up. And with your kit, you'll also receive a power supply and an extension cable. I don't think I mentioned that, but you will. This is just one I had laying around. Yours will be all brand new. So let's run that up here. And that just runs into a power jack right there. That little silver guy is a little power jack. So you just use your barrel jack connector and plug it right in there. And what I like to do with these cords, just to keep things nice and tidy, you can take them, wrap them around these poles, zip tie them, do whatever you want. These kits are pretty well completed. The only thing you have to buy separately is your inline feed die. And I guess zip ties, double-sided tape, whatever you want to use for cable management. That's up to you. Nor do I include mounting hardware for your bench mount. That'll be on you. There's just 1/4-inch holes in that bench mount. Okay, we're ready to go. Let me grab some bullets and let's get after it. So here's just what I have laying over off the shelf. Some 75 grain Hornady match boat tail hollow points. Let's just throw a few of those in there. Make sure you guys can see that good. Yeah, pretty good. Let's maybe zoom you guys back out a bit so you can see the full operation of just that going down in there. So we'll just turn that on and make sure we're flipping correctly. So you can kind of, maybe if you're a taller guy, unlike myself, you can see what's going on. So maybe we'll get one upside down here and we'll get lucky. So the fact that we're not seeing those go upside down. Good, okay, there we go. And we filled up our switch, so we don't get to see that one completely work. But the switch body's filled up here, so let's go ahead and run some brass through. We're not actually going to load today, but we will see the action of this press work. So let's see, make sure that you can see the bullets down there. So I've got some loaded, so you can see them set on that brass. So here we go. I think I have this set. Oh gosh, this thing is in the way. Let's see if I can just take it out, because it is not set correctly for 223. So that's going to cause problems. Okay, so now we can go. There we go. And it's just setting them right on that piece of brass, as you can see. And you can run this in station. What would this be? That's 1, 2. You can set it in 3, 4. You can only put it in 4 if you're going to see and crimp, or not even crimp at all for station 5. Yeah, and really just away you go here. just like so, and you can load as many as you want, and away you go. If I can keep everything straight here. Oh yeah, see, I'm not resizing, so that's why that one fell out. It's because that hit the shell ejector of an AR, but can sort that out later. But yeah, and as you can see, it just loads and uses the mechanical shutoff switch to shut that off. So let's go over a quick caliber conversion kit. I don't have a bullet dropper on these Hornady Lock-N-Loads for the small pistol, but I can at least show you guys how to change over the caliber kit, and we'll simulate that I do have that. So first, you're going to want to empty out your bullet die body, because if you don't, what'll happen is you're going to pull this off there. It'll drop all the bullets down into this inline feed die, and then all of a sudden this is going to start raining bullets because there's no bullets in the switch insert to run the mechanical switch. So what I kind of always do is I will just loosen up this switch body to get this switch insert out. And there's no great way to empty all the bullets out of here. You can either sit here and run them out by hand, or what I like to do is just pull the plate. If you don't have too many in there, is just pull the plate out, and you can usually just reach your hand down in there and grab them all. Is the fastest way that I've found. Oh, there's a few more in there. Okay, let's double check. Okay, we feel good. Okay. Let's do a quick caliber changeover. So we'll unscrew our color-coded small rifle insert. We'll throw on our color-coded black small pistol insert. And small pistol covers basically anything that's 35 cal. And small rifle covers anything that's basically 22 cal. And then, of course, all the other ones are pretty self-explanatory, as you'll see on my website. 6.5 bullets, 6 mil bullets, 7 mil bullets, 30 cal bullets. Stuff for 40 Smith & Wesson, large pistol, which really is all 40. It'll actually do 44 cal and 45 cal. So whichever calibers you're loading there, have at it. So then we'll simulate, okay, we take off our 22 inline feed die, and we'll place in our 9mm inline feed die. And then you just throw your switch cover back over that. You throw your keyed switch insert into the switch body. You retighten. You will remove your rifle nose guide. You will insert your pistol nose guide. And you will throw on your pistol related plate onto the hub. And that is really it. It is that quick. And then obviously you'll have to tune your bullet feeder to make sure your bullets flip and run properly. And then whichever conversion kit for your press you have, you'll have to do that. But we won't be going over that in the video, just kind of the bullet feeder function. So, and that's your complete changeover kit. And then away you run as well. Also with these Hornady Lock-N-Loads, I will soon have a mount for the case feeders. I know guys have a lot of those 3D printed case feeders. They're really cool for these Lock-N-Loads. I have one, but I just haven't set it up yet. But I do also make this case feeder, and I'll have another video for that. These motorized case feeders will actually feed one of those 3D printed case feed systems. Basically, and you can go check out my bench-mounted case feed system setup for a Lee app press. But yeah, this guy just sits on a bench mount, much like one of those, and you just will line it up over the top of your case feed system. And I have large pistol, large rifle, small rifle case feed plates, so you can turn your Hornady press into a complete progressive setup with my products, minus the case feed system. Yeah, be watching out for that. Once I get that set up, it'll be a real cool video. I'll probably come back and revisit it, and we'll do some full progressive reloading for 223. That's probably what I'll use this whole rig for. It'll be really cool. And I'm working on integrated mounts for the Hornady press right now. I don't have those yet, but they're coming. Thanks for tuning in, guys. If you want to check out the case feeders, the bullet feeders, I have a bunch of other stuff on my website, pmereloading.com. I'll drop that in the comments and in the description. Have fun reloading, guys. See ya.